Opinion. Today I am reviewing TheaterWorks Hartford's production of Primary Trust, written by Eboni Booth and directed by Jennifer Chang, running through May 11th at TheaterWorks Hartford at 233 Pearl Street in Hartford, Connecticut. It's not all in your head. You can actually come to my Patreon page where you can become a patron and support my work for as little as $1 a month, where you can support this show as well as my classic cinema podcast, Yesterday's Matinee. Patrons get early access to the latest episode as well as previews of my latest reviews here. So if you are a patron, you'd already know a bit of what I'm about to say here. Thank you to my supporters, especially my Neo and Hamilton tier patrons, and welcome to the new ones. Links to my Patreon and podcast pages will be in the description below. Eboni Booth's Primary Trust is a fascinating psychological dramedy that defies convention and inspires hope in an intimate and empathetic way. Set in Cranberry, New York, a suburb of Rochester, Primary Trust follows Kenneth, played by Justin Weeks, an enigmatic man who works at a used bookshop and spends his evenings with his best friend Bert, played by Samuel Stricklen, at a tiki bar, having a great time every night, goofing off and drinking Mai Tais until the server cuts him off for the night. The catch is, Bert is Kenneth's imaginary friend. Bert came into Kenneth's life after a traumatic event in his childhood and has been with him for decades. Kenneth has been able to manage his life to some degree with Bert for a while, but when his boss, who has been very sympathetic to Kenneth's situation, decides to retire, Kenneth must find the courage to start a new life, finding it at a local bank named Primary Trust. The bookshop has always been a quiet, reclusive place for Kenneth where he could talk with Bert without raising too many questions. But now, being in a more public position, he must deal with the anxieties of dealing with people directly and face his inner demons, especially once he gets closer to Corrina, one of the servers at the restaurant played by Hilary Ward. This is a beautiful little play. Its narrative structure is simple and easy to follow, but Booth elevates it into an intimate, sensitive story of a man who has to move forward in his life despite the comfortable and maybe complacent place he has put himself in. It's clear from the first scene that Kenneth needs some psychological assistance. One doesn't go nearly 30 years of their life with an imaginary friend and not require some kind of help. If there's a genuine critique of the play, it's that the plot is too easy in its reward, as mental health is something that takes a long time to address and remedy if it's off-kilter. Still, Primary Trust plays out more like a modern-day fable, one where the hero has a spirit guide who follows him around on his hero's journey. When looked at it from that perspective, Primary Trust is inspirational and hopeful. The struggles are deeply felt, which credit is due to the direction of Jennifer Chang and the performance of Justin Weeks, who balances Kenneth's episodes with his sweet spirit so that we can feel for him, but never pity him so much that he becomes pathetic. The rest of the cast does a great job. Samuel Stricklen gives Bert an enthusiasm for life in a way that embodies Kenneth's fantasies while also being a sort of sage for him when things get complicated. Hilary Ward plays a multitude of different roles. Her juggling of myriad different servers is hilarious. Rounding out the cast is Ricardo Chavira, who plays Kenneth's various authority figures. He never tips his hand too early when it comes to each of the characters' feelings towards Kenneth. The design is mostly simple. Nicholas Ponting has created an intimate, tight set that is quickly changing with detailed sliders and flats. Bryan Ealey has some simple-looking but subtly detailed lighting moments which develop the atmosphere for Kenneth. Primary Trust isn't just the bank, it's also defining Kenneth's inner conflict. Who does he trust most? For so long it has been Bert. With his life turning topsy-turvy, who must he depend on now? It's a simple question that most of us can probably figure out in our own lives, but for Kenneth it's a bit more complex. That's the simple beauty of Eboni Booth's play. It's not too complicated, but when we watch it hit someone who is ill-prepared for what's coming, we learn to feel for that person in a deeper way. I highly encourage everyone to go see Primary Trust. But I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see Primary Trust, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. Also in the description will be links to my Patreon and podcast pages, as well as my social media handles where you can support my work. You can also support me by liking and sharing this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be Hartford Stage's production of Romeo and Juliet. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.